Hello and welcome back to another reaction. In this occasion, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 18. Last time, I really got a shocking moment in the way that Mustang deal with the assassin of Hughes. For a moment, I've there forgot the name. Yeah, that was incredibly shocking because again, I don't think that the victim, the burn victim, the this cadaver, this burnt cadaver is the same. There is something else there. I highly doubt that Mustang is that reckless. Because that is just reckless. He is just going for revenge. And from what I remember of Mustang in the past series, and from what I have seen in this series, Mustang is not like that. Mustang is a very intelligent character that we need to look out for. This is still shocking, and I refuse to believe that Mustang just wanted revenge. There is something deeper in there. That is something I believe. But anyway, before I start going crazy with my theories, let's just cut all of this and watch the episode, shall we? Okay, I'm back. I just watched a second time the 18th episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And yes, I got confirmation on my theory. I knew it. I knew that Mustang wasn't this cold-hearted murderer that was just out for revenge. I knew that Mustang was smarter than what the last episode would imply. But of course, everything has to be shrouded in mystery to make it more interesting. And yes, I was so happy when they describe the plan and when they show us Ross. I was so happy because again, this was a confirmation of what I already suspected, that really Mustang was smarter than a lot of people give credit in the anime. Obviously, I'm speaking about the in-anime characters, because yes, he's supposed to be portrayed as a playboy, as somebody who's just doing his work because he wants power, or he wants to be relaxed, or whatever. Yes, that is what the portrayal you should be getting from Mustang. But obviously, after you get to know him better, you kind of understand, no, this guy is the real deal. This guy is really smart. And yes, this episode is the confirmation. All the planning, all the stuff he had to do for you to believe that Ross was actually dead, to convince the military that Ross was dead. And not only the military that is on the front, the real puppeteers behind the military, the homunculi. I guess they were kind of convinced that they were actually in the right for a while. That, oh yes, Mustang got his revenge and that's it. I don't know if they are still convinced after the few scenes in the last moments of the episode, but still, that speaks volumes of how smart Mustang really genuinely is. Man, I was so happy when I saw her. But anyway, this was again the pacing of this series is very interesting. I'm sorry. Very interesting, because you pass from a very tranquil moment, from a very calm moment, to a very aggressive one. We have the ruins of Xerxes, and again, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, that's how I read it. In which, of course, you have good news, you have everything that is nice, everything that is turning around for the best. And then, of course, you have the action scenes, and then you have to starting to see the consequences of whatever action is taken in the show, if it's small or it is very big. And it's very in character for Mustang not to let him know, and I mean Ed, not to let him know exactly what is going on and what is going to happen. And the best way to achieve his goal, because it's not just to bother Ed, but actually to get him out of the way so he can become a nuisance. So yes, I love the plan and I love the attitude that Mustang has, because he's a pretty good actor once you think about it. He's able to convince his subordinates, the subordinates that doesn't believe in him blindly, that doesn't follow him to follow every single order he gave, the subordinates that were given by the state, I guess, for him to be spied on or something like that. He convinced them, oh yeah, this dude in the moment Hawkeye was just away, he just started to be the playboy that he is and all that. I love it. And I love the keys or the passwords that they use during the telephonic conversation, that they are using the estate line to really get away with their plan. And yes, I love how they know that there is something or someone behind the power of the military in this country, and they want to do something else with this. Anyway, after that glorious moment in which we saw Ross again, I don't know if I should call her second lieutenant, because yeah, she no longer belongs to the military, at least not for the moment. So yeah, that's why I've been calling her just Ross. So yeah, that is weird. After that re-encounter with her, and after the amazing portrait of Armstrong, I love that man. After that, we start to see in the last few moments of that scene kind of a bittersweet moment, because yes, she needs to be hiding. She cannot tell anybody, not even her parents, because yeah, it's obvious that will compromise their escape and they'll compromise their own parents. They could become victims of something else. So she's doing it for them to be safe. So yeah, it's actually pretty convincing, pretty logical, that. But again, as I said before, the transition between these two moments of the show. Yes, we got a kick-ass action scene with the real body of Barry. I thought they were just going to recreate Barry, but no, it's actually the real body, because it's been rotten for I don't know how many years. And yeah, it's the real body, and we start to see everything that is planned from Mustang. From Mustang, all the plan that Mustang has, that is really having several people guarding this place because something big is going to happen, or perhaps it's always been like that, they are always in hiding, I don't know. And yes, the action scene, and we saw every single thing, Havoc in action, which is pretty good marksman, but obviously the best marksman or markswoman in this case is Hawkeye. She's unbelievably amazing with a gun. But the problem here is that she is going to face a homunculus, and that is a huge gap in power, because these things are immortal, essentially immortal. So yes, it's going to be a hard fight, and I want to see, because this is a terrible cliffhanger. This is something I want to keep going and going and going, but come on, this show is pretty good at that, pretty good at cliffhangers. I don't know if as good as in cliffhangers as My Hero Academia, because yes, those were some amazing cliffhangers, but genuinely the cliffhangers here are starting to look a lot like that, and probably is going to be better than them, I don't know. Because yeah, this show is honestly amazing and unbelievable. Now, there is something I want to speak about. This is obviously connected with previous episode and with previous things, as I said before. The first, they keep going with the consequences of the actions, that everything has a consequence. In this case, even the death or the pretend death of Ross has consequences. She has to run away from the country because, yeah, again, if somebody from the military, even if it's a small chance, even if she just goes away, far away from Central City, there is still the small chance that somebody that really did the investigation of her and pretend to be, well, trying to make her seem guilty of the crime of killing Hughes, Even if he or she saw her, that is going to be a big problem. Or one of the homunculus, homunculi, sorry, that is the plural, saw her, that is going to be another problem. So the best solution is to just go away, go far away from the country, outside of the country, in this case going to Shin. And yes, the consequences that she's not going to be able to see her parents, perhaps never. We don't know if she is going to be able to return to this country, or well, to the country in which the Fullmetal Alchemist happens. And yes, of course, she knows this and she starts to cry. Obviously, this is a consequence. This is just the beginning of the consequence. We'll just see a glimpse of said consequence. So yes, I love that about the show, that it's not everything, oh, she's fine and she's going away and she's happy and everything like that. No. There are some other stuff going in the background, and I love the show about that. Now, this is something I've been thinking. In previous episode, we saw that the girlfriend of Havoc is actually lost. We saw that and say, oh my god, they even managed to infiltrate the close group of Mustang. This is really grim, this is very bad. But I'm not sure now that if they didn't know that she was a homunculus. I'm starting to suspect that yes, they knew and they motivate him to be her boyfriend. You're going to gain a girlfriend, and you're going to gain us some information, and you're going to feed them false information about us. So I don't know if this is part of the plan of Mustang, or is just a mere coincidence, or it actually is part of the homunculi plan. I don't know. That is something that is still struggling in my brain to decipher if it's this or it's that. Now, the last thing I want to speak about, well, the last couple of things I want to speak about about this episode. First, the transmutation circle that we saw in the ruins of Xerxes. I thought, when I saw my reaction, I thought it was kind of the part of the door of the afterworld. Once we saw in the that we saw in the freaking when they tried to transmutate a human being. That's what I meant. I am not sure of that, and you know what, give me a moment. Okay, yeah, after I check, yeah, it's completely different. It's kind of the tree of life, or what it looked like, the tree of life. And no, this is just the circle is just the one that we saw in the hidden laboratory, that we find the other armor with soul, only with a soul. So yes, it was different. That was a mistake from my part. But obviously this is a more complex transmutation circle that we saw here, and that we saw in the laboratory. Now, the last thing I want to speak about, the image that they use for the Sage of the East, if I'm not mistaken, is the legend that is that Ed said. There is a clear image there that shows the Sage in an image there. It looks very, very similar to somebody, and in case of this is a spoiler, because I don't know if somebody else noticed, and this is something similar in the last series. Okay, I'm gonna say the spoiler. This looks a lot like father of the homunculi. It looks very similar, and I'm having my suspicions about this. And yeah, I have several theories. And once again, nothing is concrete here, because again, I'm just taking information from what I know, but this is not something that was portrayed in the last series. This is not portrayed in any way, shape, or form, or at least I don't remember. But yeah, our father is a very important figure because he controls the homunculi, and he controls the military in the country. So yeah, he's a very powerful figure, and the fact that the image that they show us of the Sage of the East is suspiciously close to father is obviously giving more and more things to speculate. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell too deep into this theory because it's just a very loose theory that is just similar and it has a very important role. I really have nothing else to say about it, that's why. Not until this episode anyway. But yeah, this was a very exciting episode and I cannot wait for the next one. But I exhausted the topic of this one, so the only thing I have to say is thank you for your attention and, well, see you on the next one. Bye!
Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, give it a like, so the algorithm from YouTube will help me out. And check my other videos, share them, and also why not subscribe to my channel and join this community. And as always, I want to thank you for your attention, your likes, and even your dislikes, your comments, which is something I always look forward to read. And yeah, once more, thanks and see you on the next one.